What's up guys, it's Dan, and I'm gonna make a scaled up version of the Lego air tank. So just like the minifig, I kinda got started already. I have the air tank cylinders here, but I can walk you through what I did. It's not that difficult. So I wrapped some 2mm craft foam around this cardboard tube, which measures 61 millimeters in diameter. I cut some heavy duty kneeling pad foam for the tops here so I can round them off. Then I added some 6mm craft foam on the bottom to cap the end, even put the hole in there because the actual air tank has holes. You can actually see them there. So I got these set. So what I'm doing now is I'm working on the neck ring, which I just got done making this horseshoe or magnet template. And I got some cinch right here, which I drew the pattern on. You can kind of see it right there. So this needs to be measured about 1 millimeter, and the Odin Lego scale conversion is 12.92 to 1, so it needs to be that thick. So I just need to cut this out. I'm going to cut it oversize, then I'm going to glue some foam onto it, and then cut it out on my bandsaw, fine tune it, and round just the top part, which will be foam, because the bottom part of the ring is actually flat. It's just the top part that's rounded. I traced the pattern piece onto some 6mm foam and cut it out oversize. I glued both pieces together using contact cement. Then I take my time cutting everything out on my bandsaw. So the reason I used Sintra on this piece is this needs to be sturdy, since it's going to have air tanks hanging off the end of it. But as you can see, it chokes my minifig perfectly. Let's put the head on. So with this accessory, it does displace the head a bit. It's meant to. As you can see, the head is actually higher now, since this is taking up space down there. But this is exactly how it is with Lego. And as you can see, I plaster dipped my minifig, or maxi fig. It's a camel green. It's the only plaster dip I had available. So all that's left for this is some cleanup, and then rounding the top foam part here. I spent some time rounding the top foam part of the neck ring, as well as shaping and cleaning it up a bit with my grinding stone. Now you hear me alternate between grinding stone and sanding drum. A sanding drum is used to sand things down quickly, and a grinding stone is used for cleanup and fine-tuning your pieces. So here's my rounded horseshoe. It's looking good. I cleaned up the edges and it fits a little better on the figure. So I'm looking at the air tank, and the top of the neck ring is in line with the top of the tanks. So these bits sticking out will have to go inside the round part, which I made out of solid foam. So I'll have to figure out where and how much to cut. I take my time, I mean really take my time, finding out where to mark the tops of the tanks so I can cut out the areas on them to fit the neck ring. It's really helpful using the maxi fig here. I hold everything as best and as even as I can with the figure to mark my lines. Carefully cut along those lines to remove the foam that will be displaced by the neck ring, and super glue it all in place. Oh, that looks so cool. Just like that, a Lego minifig accessory. That's cool. That turned out really well. Yeah, it's fairly straight. I mean, it's foam, things can flex and move around. It's expected, but air tanks. That's cool. All that's left for these is Not a lot. There's a top piece that goes here with some detail, some nubs and other things, and that's it. The small details include the top brace with detail that look like half cones, a round bump at the top of the brace, and small cylinders on the neck ring. For the brace, I patterned it out of cardstock first. The bottom part of it is supposed to fit between the tops of the air tanks, which are rounded. The rest of it is just a simple rectangle. I need this piece to be at least 12mm thick, so I glued together 2 pieces of 6mm foam. I traced my pattern onto it and roughly cut it out. Then I fine-tuned the piece with my sanding drum, as well as around the top of the brace with my grinding stone. I use contact cement to attach the top brace, getting it centered as best as I can, then smooshing it, and smooshing it, and smooshing it, until it's on there good. On the back of the brace, there are what appear to be cones that stick out from it. I make these out of 6mm foam, which I then round the ends to make them look like cones. For the round bump that sticks out of the center of the brace, I use a 12mm round leather punch to make the cylinder out of 10mm foam. It takes some time to get the punch through the foam, but I do eventually, and I'm left with a nice little foam cylinder. I shaped the round of the little foam cylinder a bit with my sanding drum, trying to match the round part of the brace. Then I super glue it in place. That turned out great. It looked great. This was pretty easy build, actually, compared to making the figure, anyway. But yeah, look at that. Air tanks. Space air tanks. It's really cool. The first accessory to my large-scale Lego figure. But yeah, the cylinders are made with this 66mm cardboard tube wrapped with 2mm foam, bringing it to 70mm diameter, which is a bit small, just a little bit. If you actually measure the figure, then convert it by 12.92, but it works. It's close enough, so I'm happy with that. The tops here are solid foam, sculpted the round on it. I use heavy-duty kneeling pad foam. You can stack 2 pieces of craft foam together to make it thick enough. The bottom ring here is also 6mm craft foam, which I put on first, and then I wrapped it with the 2mm foam. So it looks nice and clean. It's all cleaned up and rounded. But yeah, very cool Lego space air tank. I'm just gonna make this be black. Yeah, I'll hit it with some plastic. I have to blend in the neck ring there to the tanks, so it looks a lot better. Because on the actual element, it looks like it's just all one piece. And then there are some bumps in here that I need to make, which will help set it into the neck there. So that's easy enough. I can just cut some cylinders of foam using, I think I can use this. This is my 12mm diameter leather punch. I'll have to stack 2 layers of craft foam and then run this through it and then glue those in. Should be simple enough. And then it'll be done. I carved the cylinders to contour the neck ring since it's rounded at the top and super glued them in place, once again using the figure as a reference. Alright, now these are done in terms of building it. And like I said, I will make it black because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to the air tanks being black. If you're doing classic space, these will be the color of your figure because that's how they did it. I used some Alex Flex flexible spackle to fill in the gaps of the neck ring and the tanks. My Alex Flex is so soft and ooey gooey from being in my warm shed. I coated it in a couple layers of Plastidip, then I airbrushed all of it black. Now, I could have hand brushed it too, but I really like the consistent finish that airbrushing has. There you go. I got my little, not little, but my upscaled Lego figure, or maxi fig. As you can see, I did paint the head yellow, because why not? And the air tanks fit on really, really good. Really happy with how those turned out. It's pretty simple build, actually. They look really good though. That looks awesome. It's first accessory! Well, from this view you just see a black ring around the neck, but... Oops. Well, yeah, as I said, this was a pretty simple build. Obviously you kind of have to make the figure first to make this, to make it right, but luckily for you guys, I will have a provided pattern so you can make one of these. It does not really require, but recommend using the cardboard tube. And then underneath the neck ring here, I'm using 6mm Sintra. You can use 3mm or whatever thing that you have that's solid. You can even use wood if you want, because you're gonna sand it and shape it all down to be flush with the foam piece that you put on top, so that it's nice and sturdy. And then the rest is just foam, including this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. It looks great, it looks awesome. It's just a really big version of the Lego minifig air tank accessory. For your scaled up Lego figure. The Plastidip kind of added more friction, so that's why he's able to actually hold the radio up, because there's friction in the arm now, with the arm also rubbing against the body. I think I'll just give him a standard smile face, so that's kind of the direction I'm going. I'm trying to keep it simple. I don't know what else I want to make for this figure, but this is a lot of fun. Now if I was Odin, he'd just need one more piece, which is the classic space helmet. So I'll have him make that. I'm not gonna make it. I would like to have her make the newer style helmet, the motorcycle helmet. I've been looking over that piece and it's kind of challenging. I'm gonna have to figure out how to pull a pattern off of something and also make it fit this. Fit right in the stud. And it also has a visor, which the classic space helmets don't, so Odin won't have to worry about that. I will. But yeah, this is my scaled up Lego figure, or maxi fig. Let me know what you guys think of everything with this guy so far. I know the video to make this was long, because there's a lot of parts, you know. Legs, hip and pelvis, body, arms, hands, head. Well, yeah, so that's going to be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be thinking of more things to make for this guy. And yeah, I'll see you guys next one. So it's very squeaky. You want to wave a squeaky goodbye? Bye.